All right, hello there. Today for spelling, we are on list 15. 1-5, list 15. So follow along with me. We're going to do a spelling pretest just to kind of go over our words for the week, get them going in our brain, start thinking about them, what they mean, tricks for spelling them. But the first thing we're going to do together is the pretest. So get your paper ready. You're going to number it 1 to 25. Remember, on the pretest, it is not about getting them all right, although that would be lovely. This pretest is designed to help you notice the words that you need to work on the most this week, okay? And it really is up to you to practice those words. Okay, so if there's words that are easy for you, then don't spend so much time with those words. But if there's words that are struggle, then those are the ones you should focus on, okay? So that you're using your time wisely. Part of being a good student in any subject is choosing which things to spend your time on that you need to work on to better yourself, okay? That's a great skill to learn, no matter if we're talking about spelling or math or science, okay? If there's a part that's hard for you, that's the part you need to really dig in and study. If there's a part that are easy for you, then those are the parts you just breeze through quickly and move on, okay? So number 1 to 25, because we do have 2 challenge words this week. All right, so are we ready? I'm gonna read the sentence, the word, and the word, the sentence, and the word again, and then I'm going to tell you the definition. Now, if you do not know the definition of the word and it's new to you, then write that down on your pretest so that you know what it means, okay? So take advantage of this opportunity to get that help so you don't have to spend time looking it up later, okay? If you know what it means, then you do not need to write down the definition. But if it's new to you and you think, oh, I might need to know that for later in the week when I'm doing my spelling, then write it down. Write yourself a little note. Okay, this means this, okay? Doesn't have to be exactly the words that come out of my mouth, but something that helps you remember what that word really means. Okay, let's get started. Word 1, address. Our science teacher will address, let me start over. Word 1, address. Our science teacher will address the subject of currents. Address. This week we have more homographs again. So that's why I screwed that first one up already. Address and address are words that sound different, but just barely, but they are written the same. So before we were talking about words that are spelt different but sound the same. But now this week we have some words that sound different, but they are spelled the same. English. Okay, so this first word is address. Okay, address means to talk to a crowd of people usually, or maybe a handful of people. So to make a declaration or to speak in front of people, that's to address someone. Now, address is like what we write on a letter so that it gets to the person, or if somebody asks you, what's your address? That's what you would write or tell them is where you live, right? Where do you live? My address is 110 Cherrywood Lane. Okay, that's your address. But to address is spelled the same, but it means to speak to someone or to speak to a group of people. Okay, so your first word is address. Okay, now if you wrote the word address, then you spelled it correctly. So you can put a little star or a little happy face by number 1. If you did not, then write it next to it the correct way. address. Word 2. Word 2 is complex. Complex. Is your apartment complex near the shore? Complex. Now, complex in this sense is not complex. Hear that? They sound different, but they're spelled the same. Complex in this sentence is like a group of buildings or a group of apartments in this case. All right, so a building complex, a group of buildings. Complex, which is not your word, but is spelled the same and sounds different, is like when things are complicated, okay, or difficult. So if you spell word two, COMPLEX, then put a little smiley or star. And if you did not spell it correctly, that's okay. Write it down right now the correct way. COMPLEX, complex. Okay, so I should see your piece of paper when you turn it in today full of little smiley faces and stars or rewritten words to show that you are learning, okay, and you notice your mistakes. All of those things are fine. I should not just see a piece of paper with words, okay? It should either have a smiley face, a star, or a rewritten word. Those are the choices, okay? Everybody's paper should show me that you're working along with this video and not just quickly jotting down the word. Word three, conduct. Conduct. Callista's conduct was a reflection of her love for the Lord. Conduct. Conduct is another word for behavior. All right, so this is saying Callista's behavior was a reflection of her love for the Lord. Her conduct. Okay, the word that sounds different but is spelled the same is to conduct. Like when you are directing an orchestra, you are conducting, but this is conduct. All right, so CONDUCT. I'll spell that one more time. CONDUCT. Now, I really hope that you're doing your best to write it first on your own, okay, and then fix it if you did it wrong, because it doesn't do any good for you just to copy it down when I tell you the right way. I'm doing that so you can see the difference on your own, okay, and I'm saving you time so you don't have to go look it up in your book, but I want to see you working through it on your paper. Struggling with the words is fine, but I want to see that. But if you did it right, then great job. Put that smiley face or star there. I hope you're writing nice and neatly. All right, let's keep going. Word number 5, console. I bet most of you know this word. Console. We played an ocean exploration game on console. Okay, it's like a gaming system. Console. 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 Okay. The other word that you would have heard that sounds different but is spelled the same is to console. That means to comfort someone, but that is not our word for this week. We're talking about like a gaming console. Okay. Word 6, contract. The contract for the purchase was signed by both the buyer and the seller. Contract. All right. There's this kind of contract, and then there's also like contract, like when something gets tighter. Okay, so the kind of contract we're talking about this week is a piece of paper that you sign saying that this is something that you promise to do. You're going to keep up your end of the bargain. That's a contract. The other type of contract is when something squeezes together. Okay, that's to contract, but we're talking about a contract. CONTRACT. I'll spell it one more time for you. CONTRACT. Contract. Number 7, excuse. Mrs. Gonzalez will excuse her class from an assignment. Excuse. That means to give grace or give permission. To excuse, to forgive. All right. Word, oh, excuse is spelt, or excuse me, is spelled E-X-C-U-S-E. The other word that sounds different, spelled the same, is excuse, or excuse. Wow, my brain's tired. Okay, here we go. Number 8, increase. Currents increase the nutrients in ocean water. Increase, okay, to get more, to multiply, to become greater, increase. I-N-C-R-E-A-S-E, increase. I-N-C-R-E-A-S-E, increase. Okay, again, if you got it right, little smiley face, little star. If you did not get it right, write it the correct way right next to it. Okay. Number 9, invalid. Invalid. The expired coupon was invalid. Okay, that means it did not work. It was invalid. One time, maybe you got like a scratcher code for a game or something, and you scratch it and you enter in your code and the numbers don't work and it's invalid, did not work. Another word that is spelled the same but pronounced differently is invalid. That's somebody that is sick. Okay, they're invalid. Usually an older person, we might say, is an invalid. All right, invalid, but our word is invalid. It is spelled I-N-V-A-L-I-D. I-N-V-A-L-I-D. Invalid. Word 10, produce. Our teacher will produce a map of the Gulf Stream. Produce. Okay, that means that I would make or create a map of the Gulf Stream for you. I would show up with a map, produce. Produce is another word for fruits and vegetables. They are spelt the same, their sound slightly different, just a little bit. Produce. The way we spell our word 10 is P-R-O-D-U-C-E. P-R-O-D-U-C-E. Produce. Word 11, record. We will record the science program to view later. Record. That means we're going to do what I'm doing right now. We're going to make a video of what we are doing so that we can watch it later. Record. Okay, word 12, wound. The sailor's foot received a wound from a sharp splinter. Wound. It's another word for injury, usually a deep gash. Wound. W-O-U-N-D. Wound. The other word that is spelt the same but sounds different is wound. And that's to wind something up. I wound up the old cuckoo clock to make it work. But we are talking about wound, which is an injury. Okay, those were your pattern words, okay? Now, content words. Word 13, continuous. A rip current pulled a swimmer past the continuous line of waves. Continuous. Continuous means it keeps going. It keeps continuing. You hear that? Continuous, continuing. Okay, and we spell continuous C-O-N-T-I-N-U-O-U-S. Let's listen to it one more time. C-O-N-T-I-N-U-O-U-S. Continuous. Word 14, gravitational. The moon exerts a gravitational pull on the tides. Gravitational. Gravitational is a kind of pull that pulls the gravity, right? It's what holds us to the ground. Gravitational. Spelled Gravitational. Let me spell that one more time slower for you. Gravitational. That might be one of those words that some of you are going to need to practice with, and that's okay. If you got it right, put that smiley face, the star, good job. If you didn't, that's okay. Just write it the correct way next to it. Number 15, periodic. The course of a current can undergo periodic changes. Periodic means once in a while, okay? Every now and then, periodic. It is spelled P-E-R-I-O-D-I-C. P-E-R-I-O-D-I-C. Periodic. Lots of these words this week, thankfully, are written like they sound. So that is a good thing. So it might be helpful as you're practicing to say the word out loud and then spell it. Periodic. Word 16, proximity. That means to be close to. The swimmer was in close proximity to the shore. That means the swimmer was swimming near the shore, in proximity. We spell proximity P-R-O-X-I-M-I-T-Y. P-R-O-X-I-M-I-T-Y. Proximity. Proximity. All right. Word 17, rotation. A current's direction is caused by the rotation of the earth. Rotation means the way that something turns. Okay, rotating. The clock rotates clockwise. Okay, that's its rotation. The sun rotates around the earth. The earth rotates on its axis. We spell rotation R-O-T-A-T-I-O-N. R-O-T-A-T-I-O-N. Rotation. Word 18, strength. I think we all know what strength means. We were surprised by the strength of the current. Strength means like force. Yeah? Strong something is. It is spelled S-T-R-E-N-G-T-H. Strength. S-T-R-E-N-G-T-H. Strength. All right. 19. Surface. A red sailboat bobbed up and down on the water's surface. Surface is like the top of the water, right? Surface. Or you could have like the surface of a table, which is the top of the table where you can set your glass. I set my glass on the surface. Okay, or you could describe the surface. You could say the surface of the water is smooth and calm. You could say the surface of the rock is rough. Okay, it's the top of something or the outer covering of something, the surface. Sometimes we talk about the surface of the moon. It's where you walk on the moon, right? It is spelled S-U-R-F-A-C-E, like surface. S-U-R-F-A-C-E. Again, if you got it right, woo, put a smiley face, put a star, whatever it is that makes you feel happy. If you got it wrong, that's okay. Write it the correct way right next to it. Okay, our vocabulary words. Invisible. Rip currents are invisible but dangerous to swimmers. Invisible. You all know what invisible means. You can't see it. It's invisible. And we spell invisible, I-N-V-I-S-I-B-L-E. One more time. INVISIBLE. Invisible. 21. Transportable. That means it's something that can be taken from one place to another place. It's transported. So it's transportable. It's something that can be moved. Cargo is transportable by ship. We spell transportable TRANSPORTABLE. I'll spell it one more time. It's a long one. TRANSPORTABLE. Transportable. 22. Very similar. Transporting. Okay, to move something from one place to another. Mrs. Milano is transporting the students to the student science fair projects. Transporting. 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 You'll notice in both transportable and transport, the word sport is right there in the middle. Sport. Both of those words. So when you're working to learn those two words, look at the first four letters are the same, tran, T-R-A-N, and then the word sport, S-P-O-R-T, and then just the ending is going to change. So that's nice. All right, word 23, envision. Linda can envision herself swimming in an ocean current. Envision, that means you can picture, okay? You can see it in your mind. Envision. E-N-V-I-S-I-O-N. Envision. E-N-V-I-S-I-O-N. Okay, and our last two challenge words. Number 24, cooperate. Cooperate. The students cooperated with their teacher and that made her so happy. Cooperate. C-O-O-P-E-R-A-T-E. C-O-O-P-E-R-A-T-E. Cooperate. And last word, proceed. Proceed. The students proceed to walk in a straight line to lunch. That means to continue on. Proceed. P-R-O-C-E-E-D. All right. So you should now have your list of 25 words. And by your words, I should see smiley faces or stars or words rewritten. Those are your three choices. There should be no words that are just there on your piece of paper. They all need to be corrected. So they either need to show me that you got it right or show me that you're working to learn that word. Now, if you're learning to work on that word, then make a note. These are the words I need to practice. Any of those words that you needed to write again, those are the ones you've got to focus on this week, okay? That's your goal this week, is to learn those 25 words. Now, we're not going to do a whole lot of extra spelling this week, okay? I'm going to give you a break, but you need to be working on your own throughout the week to really learn these words, okay? Because part of being in 5th grade is being responsible, and part of being responsible is taking ownership of the things that you need to learn. And this week you need to learn list 15 words. So if you know them, yay! If you're struggling with them, work on them, write them down, practice with a friend, have your mom or dad or your brother or sister or someone quiz you back and forth, back and forth. This week it's on you to find ways to study your words. You can use your worksheets in your book. That's a perfectly good way to study. You can write them down a million times. You can make a rainbow drawing. You can do whatever works well for you to study your words. But these are your spelling words for the week. So practice, practice, practice. And then surprise me on Thursday when we take this test and you know all these words. So good. All right. Okay. I will see you guys later. Bye.